Let's take a look at this issue. According to the 2012 National Education Evaluation and Development Unit report, the language and education policy of LEAP affords all learners the right to learn in a language of their choice, right? Yes. But neither the Department of Basic Education nor the provincial departments can force a school to offer any specific language offering in their school. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. It has that loophole which says where possible. Mm-hmm. So it leaves the governing committees of the school governing bodies, as well as the management of the school, the opportunity to say it's possible or it's not possible. So it's not making it compulsory.
But why is that loophole there? Shouldn't that loophole have been removed?
I think with time it should, and it will be removed. But at the time of conceptualizing the policy framework, it was giving a room that people can develop to a certain stage, because it was the impossibility of doing it all at once as you start.
Now, how long do you think it will take for the African language learning to be implemented in schools?
I think it is implemented starting from this year. The Department of Basic Education has started that program.
Because University of KwaZulu-Natal is already implemented.
University of KwaZulu-Natal is making it compulsory for all the students to do that. In the Eastern Cape, as we say, they've moved up to grade 4. I think they are moving to grade 6 now in doing that. So Northwest University has also been doing that. There are people who have graduated in the past 2 years using the mother tongue to do that.
So gradually this is being implemented all over.
Yes.
So every province where they speak a particular language will then become the language of choice?
Yes, it has to be. I mean, the language of choice by the students as they do. Of course, the school governing body and the parents, through the parents and the teachers, have to decide that. But the important thing also to realize is that over the years, as these languages were marginalized, it means the teachers in the languages were also not coming in great numbers. So that is why it is important, whilst you're doing it, want to do it compulsory at schools, you must also look at the manpower or person power, so to say. Do you have enough teachers? So the universities are beginning to develop to train students as teachers to do that. So we have to do it parallel.
And balance the two. But talking about teachers, ideally a learner's mother tongue language, which is very important, is the same as the mother tongue language of the school. But this is not the case in many of South African schools. Am I correct in saying that?
It is the case if you look at the totality of the schools. Because, you know, I said, there is that tendency of thinking that South Africa constitutes of the cosmopolitan. The majority of our people are in the rural areas, in the villages, and in the townships. So the cosmopolitan, where you have the Model C schools and all other schools that do not have language choices as is required by the policies, are not in the majority, in the main.
But does it mean that teachers will have to teach in all languages?
They can specialize in the language that they want to choose, because you have the 11 languages. Like at PanSALB, we're running a bursary scholarship fund, which we encourage all languages. So people can specialize in different languages, not necessarily to know all. But we encourage multilingualism, which says don't restrict yourself to one language, which is mother tongue. Because of the diversity in South Africa, you are required to know at least minimum of 3 or 4.
Is there still a long road to freedom in terms of getting the language policy in place and making sure that every school adopt that?
Yeah, it's not that long as it was before, because it's being addressed. We are happy with what the Department of Basic Education is doing. The Department of Higher Education has also endorsed what UKZN and Northwest are doing. I think there are efforts at Grahamstown University. So there are efforts at the University of Stellenbosch. They've also been doing that, training their students, medical students, on isiXhosa so that they can be able to serve the community. So it is receiving good attention. We can do better, but we are on the track.
Now, we've seen in evidence in China, Russia, India, where those countries have their learners taught in their mother language and in their mother tongue. And they perform better than learners that have a second language. Will this be the case here in South Africa as well?
It will be. We have it right next to us. African students have an opportunity of writing their exams in Afrikaans, getting the teaching through University of Johannesburg, University of Free State in Afrikaans, and they pass and they are competent. They get their grades are high. They fit into the industry quite well because learning through the medium of your mother tongue does not take away English. You still learn English as a subject, which makes you to master. And I think there's science that proves that understanding your mother tongue gives you an advantage and the comfort of understanding all other languages that you'll want to learn. But if you don't understand fully your mother tongue, it becomes a problem because you're moving from no base.
Now, I can imagine that from the Department of Education's perspective, there's going to be a lot of training for teachers in terms of this. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree fully. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That's where we got to leave it for now. Mr. Mxolisi Zwane, he's the CEO of PanSALB here in studio with us. That's where we got to leave it for now.